My name is Jonathan Hodgson. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I completed my degrees in 3 Canadian universities, the University of Toronto, Western Ontario, and Prince Edward Island. I've been with Maple Leaf Educational Systems now for 6 years. I'll be moving into my 7th next year. 5 of these years, I was in a teaching capacity, and 4 of them was in a blended role of a part-time administrator and part-time teacher. This is what we call an educational coordinator at many of our campuses, roles very similar to vice principal roles. This year was my first year as a principal at our Zhenjiang campus at Maple Leaf. First, I'd like to get started with some onboarding. The onboarding process begins the second that you sign a contract and you are provided a Office 365 email account. This happens very, very quickly once your contract is signed, and I'll get into a little bit more about what that means for your access to resources and support moving on. Your first few weeks are going to be quite busy upon signing a contract. The reason for this is figuring out the paperwork like work permits, visas, the British Columbia Certificate of Qualification, which is required to teach at our schools in the BC program, and work experience and references. Most of our successful teachers and candidates, they map this out in advance. So if you've considered signing a contract, or when you do sign a contract, it's good to move quickly on these processes. They can take a while, and the quicker done, the better. But we're here to help you along the process as well, and that's something that you can look forward to. One thing that we use very extensively at Maple Leaf is Office 365 and SharePoint. And this is great for the onboarding process as, like I said, the moment you sign a contract with Maple Leaf, you are provided access to an Office 365 systems account. And this is used for much, much more than just email. And as the principal, I use this extensively with our new staff as well. This gives you access to technology training, curricular documents, scope and sequence, unit plans, resources, all at the very tip of your fingers the moment you sign a contract. Our system training hub contains a plethora of information that's useful on technology training, and it has all of our course-based documents, including resources, lesson plans, activities for all courses offered at Maple Leaf. Some particularly important things that I like to direct most teachers to upon signing a contract is, like I said, these course-based documents and teaching-related resources. One of the great things about our onboarding program and the use of SharePoint and 365 is that you have immediate access to everything you need to start planning right away. There's no need to save your planning and your pedagogical information until the moment you arrive in China. This is something that you can begin slowly chipping away at as you work through the summer months. I'll move into our first Q&A session here. So I've provided a couple frequently asked questions that teachers often ask me upon their arrival or when I get into contact with them. But by all means, please feel free to raise your hand in the chat group and I will happily answer your questions.